Critics Association. Longbox, where we connect the comic books to your favorite movies and television shows. My name is Tessa Smith. You guys can find me everywhere at mamasgeeky.com, Mama's Geeky on social media, here on YouTube. And I'm joined by my lovely co-host.
I'm Jonita Davis, and don't mind the kids in the background. You can find me everywhere at Jonita L. Davis or at the Black Cape or at the Black Cape Media. That's where my stuff is. And I also have a few things on Mama's Geeky as well. Yeah. Controversial video up on her website. Go check it out. Get your complaints in while you can. So what's going on for this week, Tessa?
Oh my gosh, we've got so much to talk about. So I'm super excited because, listen, one of my all-time favorite comic book characters who was teased back after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I wrote an article about it back then. That's how long I've been talking about this. That actually got a spike on that article. So head to mamasgeeky.com and search Adam Warlock, because Adam Warlock is officially cast. It's Will Poulter. James Gunn confirmed it yesterday. So we're going to dive into that and dive in a little bit about who Adam Warlock is in the comic books. After that, there was another exciting announcement that we got. Agatha Harkness is getting a spin-off show. So we're going to dive more into Agatha Harkness in the comic books and what we could possibly see storyline-wise from her show. We're also going to talk about Batwoman Season 3, which starts today, which I got to see the first episode, and Jonita even talked to some of the cast, which you guys are going to get to see next week. And we're going to talk a little bit about Stargirl and some controversial stuff and conversations that went on this week in Stargirl, or last week, I guess. And DC FanDome's coming up this weekend. We're excited. We know you guys are excited. We're going to tell you what we're most excited for, and you guys can let us know in the comments what you're most excited for. All right, Joe, you ready to talk Adam Warlock?
Yes. Okay, so you got to tell me about this guy, because I've been intrigued ever since I read. So I read the books leading up to Endgame, yes. Right? The what do you call it? The what was the book with the Thanos one? It wasn't the
Infinity Gauntlet.
Infinity Gauntlet. I read Infinity Gauntlet with Adam Warlock in it, and I was intrigued by the guy because he's like had all these. You hit a guy with all these opinions, but you didn't do nothing. Most of the time. So talk to me about this man and why he is the way he is.
That's not even like his main, like where you can really deep dive into him. Okay, so there's a lot of other comics, and I should pull out them all. But again, if you head to mamasgeeky.com, you can see, because he has a lot of crazy stories. And so I literally let me paint you a picture. I'm at the premiere of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Here comes that post-credit scene at the Sovereign, and she's sitting there like this, and she's all got a cocoon. And as soon as I saw the cocoon, I knew it was Adam Warlock, aka him. And I was freaking out. I gasped. I jumped up. I had people looking at me like, "What is going on here?" And then she goes, "I think I'll call him Adam," or something along those lines. It was years ago. I don't remember her exact words, but it's something like that. And I screamed. I jumped up at the premiere, literally jumped up and screamed. So there you go. Embarrassing. And everyone's like, well, what does this mean? Tell me. And I was like, oh, you guys are in for a treat. Adam Warlock, there's so many storylines that they could do. He works very closely with Gamora. So I'm definitely expecting some of that, especially since the way we kind of have Gamora back. She's like the past Gamora. So I'm expecting a lot of that. But we've got, he works with Pip the Troll a lot, who I would love to see in the MCU. But he also works against himself a lot. And what do I mean by that? He has a dark side, let's call it Magus, okay? He literally becomes the head of the Church of Universal Truth, which is a cult. That's basically what they are. I mean, as you can tell by the name, right?
Yeah,
Church
the name, it sounds
Truth.
like a cult. It sounds like a cult, so yeah.
It's literally a cult. It's a bunch of crazy people that follow him around. Well, Adam Warlock realizes that this is himself, and he has to like time travel. Again, Marvel, it's crazy. So he ends up like going back into time to take away the Infinity Stones because they drove him to this madness to become Magus. So he ends up taking the stones and separating them. And he has this idea to separate them so that each, like one person will hold on to one stone, which is kind of a big deal. Obviously, I don't expect to see that kind of storyline, anything with the stones, since we've kind of already gone through the Infinity Stones, and they're called the Infinity Gems in the comics, but same difference. I really don't expect we'll see any of that storyline. So just kind of, it's really cool. Check it out in the comics. I don't expect a lot of Infinity Stone stuff, since, I mean, that literally what was it? The Infinity Saga was the last however many movies, right? So they're probably just going to ignore that stuff. But Adam Warlock is likely going to be working for the Sovereign because the people who created him in the comics, he's in that cocoon thing, which you guys remember, that gold kind of looks like a casket, kind of, really, to be honest, or a tomb, that he's in. And while he's in there, he becomes aware and he hears them talking of plans, how they're basically going to use him as a weapon. They're going to weaponize him. He's like the perfect creature and he can do all sorts of things. And so it's not, I imagine that's what the Sovereign's going to do, right? They're going to make him to get back at the Guardians, right? They're very upset with them at the end of 2. So they're going to create this creature. It seems like they've pulled all their resources into it. It's kind of the hint we got there at that post-credit. And they're probably going to stick him on the Guardians. He became aware of it, like I said, and he kind of does it for a little bit. And then he doesn't want to work for these people that created him anymore. And he goes and does his own thing. And that's when he becomes crazy powerful and he gets all the stones and he becomes Magus and goes crazy. I'm sure we're going to get him become Magus, whether it will be this one or in the future. I don't know. But if you introduce Adam Warlock, you have to make him be Magus. You have to have his dark evil side. You guys, if you look up pictures of him, he's purple and crazy. He's awesome. He's one of my favorite villains because he's just does not care. And he's a cult working for him. He's a crazy person with a cult that will literally do anything for him. That's insane. It's so crazy. So I'm really, really hoping that we get to see him. But he's just extremely powerful. And so with James Gunn, I've got to admit, okay, I saw rumors. I want to say it was towards the end of last week. People were like, oh, Will Poulter is in talks to become Adam Warlock. And I was like, I don't love that. Because I remember from We Are the Millers is what sticks in my head. And I know he's done lots of stuff since then. But all I think of is this dorky little kid. And I'm like, Adam Warlock is just so cool. And he's so powerful. And he's so cool and evil. And I can't picture this dorky kid being that. And then I thought, oh, wait, he's in other stuff. He's in Midsummer. He was really good in Midsummer. Oh, wait, he was in Detroit. He was really good in that. And then I swear this was fate. Last night in Syracuse, they had a showing of Hulu's new show, Dope Sick. It was the first episode, which he is in. And he is a pharmaceutical salesman who will basically do anything to sell the drug, right? And I'm sitting there watching him. And I'm telling you, right before this started, 10 minutes before the show started is when James Gunn tweeted out, I always squash rumors that aren't true. Welcome to Guardians of the Galaxy and the MCU, Will Poulter. Can't wait to work with you soon during filming. And I'm like, oh, so it's confirmed. And the entire time I'm watching the show, I'm going, I got to picture him as Adam Warlock this whole show. I'm just looking at him. That's all I'm thinking in my head. And I'm going, okay. And when it ended the first hour, there's 7 more episodes. So I can't speak to the rest, but I went, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with this thought. I think he'll be good. I always try to, we were just talking about this before we started recording today. I always feel like I got to see somebody before I can fully make a decision, right? I don't want to say, oh, he'd be horrible as that, because I don't know how he's going to, he's an actor, right? He plays this dorky little kid. He could also play this crazy man who controls a cult. I don't know. That's his job. He's
actually got a range. I mean, he does, which is surprising. I don't know, but so roll back.
Yeah.
I thought Adam Warlock was more like the Watcher from DC.
He kind of, no.
Where does that power come from?
He's not really a watcher. So he kind of he likes to take control of situations. And he was kind of the one who had all them stones and was it was when Thanos was fighting and they're all fighting. He's like, no, end this. And then he has the mind to be okay, everyone take a stone and you power it. Now, one thing he does do, which is kind of crazy, he decides to fight back against Thanos at one point, and Gamora's in the Soul Stone. This is where things could get crazy. And I'm just thinking of this right now. Because in the comic book, he literally goes into the Soul Stone because Gamora's dead, but her soul is in there because, where she totally could be right now. In the MCU, let's be honest, real Gamora could be in the Soul Stone. I don't know if that's how that works in the MCU.
And Black Widow's in there too.
And he takes her out to he helps her come back to life, takes her out of the Soul Stone because he's super powerful and he can take lives that are out of there. It's Gamora and Pip the Troll that are in there when he pulls them out. So maybe we could get real Gamora back. I don't know.
Wow.
That would be crazy. I'm just thinking of this right now. Like, this is just coming to me. That would be awesome to do. I would be excited to see that. But my main thing is I expect him to be, this is what I think is going to happen. He's going to come out of the Sovereign, work for them for a little bit, right? They want to come after the Guardians. He's going to do that. And all of a sudden he's going to realize, wait, like I'm kind of my own thing. I don't have to work for you. And then whether he joins up with the Guardians or just kind of becomes his own person. Again, I really don't expect too much Infinity Stone stuff, even though he's strongly connected to them, especially the Soul Stone. I just don't expect it because we've gotten so much Infinity Stone stuff before and we're kind of into the multiverse now.
And some people are Infinity Stoned out. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Right. I don't think they might briefly. The Soul Stone is the only thing I'm thinking they might kind of tie to him. But at the same time, I think what they're just going to do is he's going to be controlled by the Sovereign until he decides not to be controlled by the Sovereign. And hopefully in the future or in this one, we get a Magus where he just goes completely crazy and he has the Universal Church of Truth, which would be so awesome. But I almost don't expect that in this first introduction to him.
Okay.
I mean, if they did it, that'd be cool, but I don't think it would have to be a really long movie, although all these movies are so long now, so who knows? That's my thought, though.
Okay.
But he's awesome. Just he's awesome. Let's put it that way. And like I said, if you go to mamasgeeky.com, I have a list of comics and stuff that you guys can check out. Should have prepared myself, but I didn't. But yeah, he's really cool. And I'm cautiously optimistic about Will. And the more I think about it, I do think he's a really good choice. Even though Zac Efron was rumored for a while and I was like totally behind that. I could have totally seen Zac Efron as him. He's another one with like a baby face that like is super versatile, right? So I don't know. But that's Adam Warlock for you. I'm excited to see him come to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I can't wait. He's totally I just want him to turn purple and be crazy. That's all I want. Can they pull that off?
Just turn purple and go crazy. That's all I need from you, okay?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I need. Just be purple.
Just be purple.
And go crazy. And
exactly. That's it. Be purple, go crazy. The end.
Okay, cool. It sounds reasonable. Sounds like something that they can do. Yeah.
So I'm excited for it. I mean, I think it's going to be done. And it's James Gunn. And this is a plan he's had all along, right? They're allowing him to do Guardians 3. And this is a script he had written. He said the story is the same that he has always had in his mind. So,
and see, that's what I love. I love to see when the script falls out of the director's brain or the writers, and they're able to do it without the studio execs coming in and was like, no, you got to shave this because of our algorithm says it doesn't work.
Right.
And that's the problem that, we're having over at DC right now. So hopefully, all these successes that Marvel's having, and I know Guardians is going to be a success. Hopefully that kind of starts, sinking in somewhere that, hey, maybe they're doing something we need to do.
Yeah. For real. I know. Well, they let James Gunn do the Suicide Squad. They let him go full James Gunn for that. So
it did pretty good, even though people are saying that it bombed. I don't think it did.
No, it didn't. It's because it was released for free the same day. Like, what do you expect?
Yes. And, you had a lot of the DC fans that, kind of hated on it, which... Because it were really and truly because it had Gunn in it and he's a Marvel guy, and I'm like, okay, people, it don't work that way behind the scenes in comics because everybody works on everything, right? So nope, but it's like they're territorial. The fans
Look at Bendis. Come on, whatever.
Yeah, I think they kind of threw a monkey wrench into things. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Okay, so Adam Warlock. Okay, there's more to him than I thought. Yeah. I need to go research.
He's so cool. You got to look at the Universal Church of Truth storyline because it's crazy.
I'm taking notes here, people. Okay.
Yeah, it's insane. Like I said, he goes nuts. It's so cool. He's so powerful, and the Soul Stone stuff is really super cool. I keep wanting to say gem, but it's stones in the MCU. I just am worried that they won't touch on that because of people like we said, they're a little Infinity Stoned out, which I get. So it's fine if they don't touch on that, but maybe in the future, right? Maybe
who knows? They circle back. Right. Hopefully.
But speaking of other like things coming to life in the MCU, I know you loved WandaVision just like I did. Really enjoyed it. Agatha Harkness, played by Kathryn Hahn, one of the best villains ever, I think. Absolutely love her. She's getting her own spin-off show, Disney Plus. Has me very excited. Very excited. And I kind of wonder, are they going to do like a prequel type thing, right? Is this going to be Agatha Harkness through the years, how she started? Or is it going to be something in the future? I mean, she left her in Westview there, like with her brain all messed up. But I could definitely see if this is in the future, Scarlet Witch is going to have to deal with all the stuff she's going to have to deal with in Multiverse of Madness. And she said, I'll see you. If I need you, I know where to find you. I could see her coming back and getting Agatha and being like, okay, you're right. I totally need your help. I bit off more than I could chew. Tell me what I'm doing here. So it could be a mix of prequel. What do you think it's going to be?
Okay, so before I go, I have a question. Okay, so Agatha in the comics, is she like a big deal or no?
She's a pretty big deal. She trained Scarlet Witch.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And she babysat Fantastic Four's kids and her kids. So, and Billy and Tommy. So she would babysit. She's like the nanny for Billy and Tommy, but she would also watch like Franklin, which is the Fantastic Four's kids. This could be a way to bring them in.
So they let a crazy person watch their kid. Okay.
Well, she's not as crazy. I mean, yes, but she's the one who made, inadvertently, I guess, she kind of started this whole, the No More Mutants. That you know what that in the comics, guys.
She kind of accidentally, it wasn't her fault, but she did it.
Well, she was watching The Boys, and she started to realize that when Wanda joined the Avengers, right, and Wanda and Vision would go off and fight, the boys would like disappear. And she's like, this is weird. And then as Wanda was like nearing home, they'd like reappear. And she's like, I think you kind of created them. And I think they only exist when you're thinking about them. So like while you're busy, like as you're leaving, the first like 10 minutes, mom's always like, oh, I wonder how the kids are doing, yada, yada, yada. And then like she's fighting and her mind's completely off the boys. And then on her way home, the boys like, and Agatha's like, there's something going on here. And then that's when she started to realize that she had created them and like they weren't real. And then she went crazy. And then she got like really mad. And then she got really mad at the Avengers. And then she was like, no more mutants. And then like 97% of mutant kind like disappeared. So.
Wow.
So it was a little bit Agatha's fault.
Just a little bit.
Oops.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So, I want to see prequel. I want to see. No. I want to see because I think that everybody that was left on the ground, I think they all got sent to like whatever the MCU version of the not Arkham, but something similar, like a hospital. Not even a Ravencroft, not even that. Just somebody like a low, like a Ravencroft light, type of place, and just to kind of recuperate.
Ravencroft light, I love it.
So they got sent there to recuperate, and while there, Wanda is like, okay, you have a lot of insight into all this. I need you to come, help me out. And Wanda plucks her out of there and maybe jailbreaks everybody else. So now Agatha is like stuck with, okay, she's done with Wanda and she's got to get all these people together and, figure out if they need to go back or not.
That'd
or something
cool.
like that.
I think I definitely want like a continuation of the present, but I wouldn't mind like a flashback or two. Do you know what I mean? To see kind of like we did get a little bit of that in WandaVision, right? We saw how her with her coven and how she absorbed all their powers and stuff. But I'd like to see her like in random moments throughout time. Or maybe even whatever she was doing when she sensed Wanda that made her go there.
Ooh, kind of like a WandaVision thing. You going throughout, like each episode is a different time period.
That would be kind of cool. I would like
that
to see
would be kind of cool. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
And then you go like halfway through, you're in the present, right? And then you
in the Ravencroft light place.
Ravencroft light.
Yes. Yeah, I like that. Let's go there. I think I hope, you know what? I really think that the MCU and DCEU people should be watching our show because we have some great ideas.
We have very good ideas.
Very good ideas. They should be watching this for inspiration because I think that would be a great show. I mean, just seeing her, because she didn't die back during the witch trial. So she in each of those eras, like Wanda did.
Yeah.
And there has to be some amazing stories,
There has to be. And then she ends up being like a mentor to Wanda. Like she teaches Wanda stuff. Like she, and so, which I feel like they kind of hinted at
in like the 80s, 90s,
that
whatever.
Would be cool.
Yeah, almost like the beginning of Black Widow. Like
yes, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because she's got to be. I feel like Wanda's going to have to be a guest appearance on there somehow. Because, I mean, I guess they could focus just on Agatha, but it wouldn't be, unless it was all prequel, it wouldn't make sense to not have other people coming in to the show. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
they'd have to do the Fantastic Four first because she's connected to their kids, right?
Yeah. I mean, that could always be, she's like super old in the comics when she's like, well, obviously she's super old now anyway. She just looks young. But she's like, looks like an old lady when she's taking care of the kids and the nanny. So they could always make that a future. I don't know.
No, it could work. I like this. I think we should go with it. Yeah. Print that.
Yeah. Okay, Marvel. So go ahead.
Yeah, I think that works. I'm looking forward to whatever they come up with.
Whatever it is, it's going to be good. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's going to be really good.
I agree.
Really, really good.
So let's change gears, though. We both got to watch the first episode of Batwoman season 3.
Yeah.
Now, I told you right before this, admittedly, I watched the first season. I didn't love it. So I didn't watch the second season.
All right, I got to admit to you. Let me set you guys up, okay? I didn't really love the first season either myself. It was just kind of... It was cool to begin with, but then it was just kind of, it's okay. The second season, when Javicia Leslie took over Batwoman as Ryan, I loved it because it was new, it was fresh. You had the superhero who, has this background, this DC Bat hero that has this background that's like an everyman, type of thing. You've not got a rich or lab connect created or connected to like an evil cartel. The All Goulds are a cartel.
Yes.
So you got her. She's this black girl who's been an orphan, living on her own. Got sent to jail for something she didn't do. It's totally railroaded. But nobody's listening to her. She's on parole and she's living in her car. And so Kate Kane just kind of almost like, plucks her up out of the dust and, gives her this thing gives her this, ability to, I don't know, find her power. That's what it feels like.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so those first couple episodes are good. And then they started getting into the Al Goulds and Talia and then the Roses and I gotta admit to y'all, I got a little lost. I did. I got a little lost because I'm just like, okay, what is Damien's aunt doing here? And isn't Batman dating the mom at this time? Is this like the still like, isn't Batman dating Talia's sister right now? And are they making Damien right now, or is Damien already here? What's going on? I got my timelines confused and mixed up. It was wild. It was wild. I gotta admit. But then we came back. So the last 2 episodes of season 2, you need to watch those because it tells what went down. First of all, they got Alice. They had to get her. Alice was going around doing everything and just like going nuts. And Kate Kane comes back because why not bring her back? I can see why people were upset that she came back because they were like, okay, you can't have the black girl be Batwoman for long. You got to bring the white girl back in. But Kate Kane was brought in as like a
it was very quick, right?
Very quick.
Yeah.
And almost like a one and done or 2 episodes and done. Where she just basically came back and she's like, oh, you got to find myself, and
it was like a closure for her, kind of.
almost like a closure. I don't think it's complete closure. I think they're going to bring her back. I think she's doing what Batman did, what Arrow did, what all the rich superheroes do. I got to go find myself. Let me go off to some deserted island and pretend like I'm in danger, and meet some bad guys who end up being good guys, and come back all put together, but with PTSD that I don't want to deal with. I think that's what's going to happen to her. I think that's what's going to happen to her. But meanwhile, Ryan was able to basically come to terms with, the suit, and because she was always trying to prove herself, and that imposter syndrome, she dealt with that. So, but Kate Kane, before she got back to herself, went and stole. Yeah. Okay. So we all know Batman has this museum of all the souvenirs.
Trophies. Yes, because they've shown it on Titans as well.
Yeah. Like this. Okay. First of all, y'all knew something was going to happen to that. I mean, you knew something was.
Yeah. Why would you keep all that stuff? He's an idiot.
He was.
It's almost like he's a serial killers keep trophies. Like,
yes.
What are you doing, dude?
Yes.
It's not healthy.
It's not healthy. And we see why it's not healthy, because Kate Kane, who had everything in her head, when she was being, brainwashed by, Talia, she went in there and got everything and just kind of threw it out to the world. Just kind of gave it, like, you had the hat, you have different little pieces, like
Mad Hatter's hat, right?
Yeah, the Hatter's hat at the end of that episode floating down a creek. And then you see a piece of Poison Ivy's vine growing out.
It's crazy. So the first episode, how much can we say about it? I didn't even.
Okay,
is there a do not reveals list?
Yes, there is. So the first episode, what I can tell you is that Kate's not back. Kate, they tell you what Kate's not back. But the whole squad is. I can tell you that they got a new set of villains that they're fighting related to that break-in, but I can't tell you who or what yet.
Well, there's a picture. Mm-hmm. So they've officially released a picture of a person. So does that mean we can just mention that person?
No, that's on the list. That's on the list.
Well, why would they officially release a picture?
I don't know, but it's on the list.
That's crazy. Well, anyway, it's really awesome. Mm-hmm. I was super happy. I think the actor did a great job being this person that we can't talk about. I instantly was like, okay, I'm here for this. I love this because, like I said, I watched season 1. I didn't watch season 2. I picked up with the first episode of season 3 because they sent me a screener and I thought I'll dive into it. And I immediately was into it. Like, I think what happened, the story is really good. There's not a lot of action, but what we got seemed well choreographed. The fights were decent, which sometimes is an issue with television shows, right?
Yeah.
I feel like the movies have much better fight choreography than television shows. But what we got in this was good. It was not a lot, like I said. It felt like a lot of catch up, and a lot of setup for the season, right? Like, this is what we're going to be dealing with the whole rest of the season, basically. Here you guys go. It was interesting, though. It was very, very good. And it made me wonder if I should watch season 2. So it sounds like just the last couple episodes.
The first couple to kind of set you up,
and then the last couple.
Yeah, they kind of let you know what they're doing. So I think it's safe to say that I think what they're going to do is almost like a supernatural approach, where you're going and you're looking for artifacts and collecting them, and you're collecting them from these people who have gotten a hold of them. No, it's more like needful things, like Stephen King's Needful Things, where they got these items and they become those items, So, I don't know. I guess I'm like waiting to see if there's going to be a bootleg Poison Ivy.
I would be. Listen, you know this. My daughter's name is Ivy after Poison Ivy.
Yeah, Quinn Ivy. I have a Quinn Ivy. Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So I'm very excited, and I really hope that they have a Poison Ivy. That would be amazing.
As long as she's decent. We saw the little vine growing at the end. At the very end.
They showed a vine, and I think they mentioned at one point that the vine was getting bigger or something. So I was like, But then we also have Batwing. There's too many names, but you know who I mean. Batwing.
Well, everybody knew Batwing was coming because when they introduced the character of Lucas, Batwing's coming. So when is it going to happen? It happens in season 3, and it's awesome. But I love when
it's really, really cool.
It is really funny when they're going through the names.
Yes, then they're trying to name him, and he's like,
he's
no.
like Black Bat. She's like, seriously,
Right.
you
He's
know?
like, really serious.
Yeah, Ryan's like, are you joking right now?
I
Yeah.
love how she just tells him like it. She's like, no. She's basically like, please don't do that to yourself. Trust
Yes.
me.
Yes.
Which I like a lot.
You have Alice. The Alice did not go away. The Alice is still here.
See, that's
I love
the thing.
Alice.
I kind of love Alice. That's what
I
I'm
do
gonna
too.
say.
I'm love
kind
Alice.
of a fan. I'm a fan of her.
I love Alice. I think the people are gonna love what happens to Alice in this episode. I think because everything with her seems to come full circle, I'm gonna say. And she's always been longing for family. I think she's gonna get it finally.
I know.
Yeah. And then there's a new I think there's a new character who kind of hints at Birds of Prey.
Yes. I know. Are we allowed to say?
The name wasn't on the do not reveal list, but I'm not sure.
I know. You never know, but
mm-hmm.
I was excited about that.
I was excited too when I heard and they said the name, and I was like, "What? Wait, what?"
Yeah,
huh?
you immediately know.
Yeah, it's like this is
if
interesting.
you know, you know, right? It's
yes.
Like, if you know, you know. If you don't know, people will just be like, "Okay, la la," or they won't even notice. But anyone who knows will be like, "What?"
As soon as you hear the name, you will know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so we're gonna get Birds of Prey. When?
I know.
You know. So like all these different things, but the main theme was set up at the end of last season where Alice is like, ha ha ha, you thought you were an orphan and your mom was dead, but your mama didn't die. I know where she's at, you know. And so Ryan finds her mother.
I know, right?
And our mother, and I got to talk to the actress who plays her mother, Robin Givens.
That's
and
so
it was
cool,
an interesting
by the
conversation.
way. I know. I'm so excited to like hear what you guys talked about because I thought that was crazy. And they show her real quick. I mean, it's what, maybe like 5 minutes in the first episode? It's
not
much.
even 5 minutes. Not even. And you look at her and I'm like, okay, I got angry for Ryan because I'm like, I'm looking at this woman. I'm like, and I'm remembering when we found Ryan at the beginning of season 2. And I'm like, oh, no. I got problems with you. No, you don't get to do this.
Yeah. Well, I was
owe
like,
her.
Yes. But also, like, man, boy, does she, like, command a presence on screen, though, right? Like,
that's Robin Givens, though.
I know. That's true. But, like, as soon as I don't want to say, as soon as you see her, she steps out of somewhere. That's what I'll put. And you, like, see her, and she just, like, it's like an entrance, right?
She makes an entrance. She always she knows how to make an entrance. She does.
And you're just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like captivated by her, right? Like she just your eyes are drawn to her right away, and the way she talks, and the way and you're just like, I'm already so excited to see more.
Yeah, and you can see where Ryan gets like her way about, you know, when she's like Batwoman, when she enters the room and when she commands. You know, and people are afraid of her. She gets it from her mother. You know, you can tell. But yeah, I got a chance to talk to them about, because Robin Givens, this is her second time in a superhero, like only her second time over all these years of acting. Her first one was Blank Man in the 90s. I don't know if you guys remember that Wayans brothers like thing where
yes, I do.
You remember
I didn't,
it?
But now I do.
You know? Yes.
Oh
I asked her about that and she laughed.
I love it.
She talked a little bit about Blank Man and, you know, how this was different, and I did ask about, because we've been talking about since the Longbox started about Black women in superhero films. They've not been there. I mean, we've not been there. We've shown up in Suicide Squad. And I thought there was one other place. One other place coming up. And but yeah, other than that, Eternals has Afro Latina. Yes. Yeah. So I'm like, we're not in film, but in television, there's like a whole group. There's a squad, and they're growing.
Well written half the time.
Yeah, and they're grown, but they're I know.
Starfire. Oh.
Well, in that Beth episode of the Beth episode, oh, a Stargirl. But yeah, so I'm like, you're part of a growing squad, and she talks about, you know, what she thinks about black women in superhero films and series.
I
and
can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, so I pretty much, I love talking to Ryan because she has all this energy.
Yeah.
And she wants to talk so much about Batwoman, but Robin Givens is like amazing, and I wanted to like talk to her. No offense, Ryan. Oh, the whole, I mean, no, not Ryan. Javicia, or Javicia, who plays Ryan.
I'm sure she
Yeah.
doesn't care.
I wanted to talk to Robin like the entire time.
Well, that comes up. We're gonna have that on the Longbox next week, as part of a segmented show for you guys next week, and I'm excited to watch it myself. So I can't wait to have that footage to edit it.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. I was, and I have to tell you, guys, I was watching Dune. I was in the middle of Dune, and I had to leave 15 minutes before the end.
That's like the best part.
I know. I missed that.
Well, you just have to watch it again then. You just have to watch it again. I have the graphic novel of Dune I need to go through, and we can talk about that in the future too.
I loved Dune. I loved it.
To me, I can't wait for the next one. As soon as I saw it said part 1, I knew. I was like, oh yeah.
I'm going to have to, you know what? I'm going to have to order the graphic, because I thought it was just a book. I didn't know it was a graphic novel.
Yes, there's a graphic novel as well. Yes, it's good. You'll like it. We'll discuss it on a future episode.
Yeah, we'll have to, because I want to know, because there's a lot that I want to know about the graphic novel. But anyway, I had to cut that off to be able to get to this interview to talk to these two. And so I'm like huddled in the corner of the AMC River East in Chicago, and you can kind of see a little bit behind me. But yeah, so but it was still I think it was a good interview. I think it turned out pretty great.
I'm excited to check it out, and I'm excited for more of this. Maybe I'll have to go back and watch those couple of episodes from season 2.
Please do. It'll set you up, and it'll show you kind of what's. I think it'll kind of give you a direction, because I really got a direction of where they were going with this next season.
Yeah.
And if they follow it out, it's going to be good.
Well, I will say too, for those of you who haven't even watched seasons 1 or season 2, to be honest, I think you could get away with starting with episode 1 of season 3. Like, they set up enough where, like, I got it. I'm the type who I like to get more in depth, but I think if you didn't want to, you could probably start with season 3, episode 1, and just kind of jump off from there.
You can. I think you can.
I think you can. They do enough of explaining little stuff here and there, and they do enough of explaining, like, about her mom, right? Because she's even like, I thought it was an orphan. I thought this. I thought that. And so they kind of rehash that so that you can start here if it's something you're interested in. But you go, I don't have time to watch 2 seasons of this, which who has time nowadays? Right. So you could definitely start with this episode, which it starts tonight, right? So.
Yeah. It does. And even with the villain, that'll catch you up with Alice and the sisters and what's going on with all of them. Yeah, the whole yeah. So watch
just
tonight.
Check it
watch
out.
tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then if you feel like you want more, then you can always go back. But watch tonight and don't feel like you'll be lost, because I don't think you will. And
I
let us know what you think.
Yes,
I actually told so Javicia said that, there's this bomb that, is dropped. I think she said a bomb that's dropped kind of into Robin's life. And I'm like, yeah, and Robin, you're that bomb. So how do you feel about it?
Right.
And she was like, exactly. Oh, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, well, I hope I didn't offend her, but anyway. And then I go talking about, oh, you've been acting since the 90s. But so anyway, be prepared for that. But yeah, it's like when she comes on, it's like a bomb goes off. You're like,
it is.
Oh,
and she's just so stunning too, and she's just the way she's walking, and she's just like there.
And when it hits you, who she is,
it takes like a second, and then you're like, oh.
Yes, it is like a bomb goes off. So yeah, I can't wait.
Yes, I know.
Anyway,
yes, Stargirl. Let's talk about Stargirl real quick. They kind of dove into like these this subject. We were just talking about it before we came on here. And you were saying, they really touched last week's episode. I guess it was last week's by the time you guys see this, that they talked about, do they or do they not kill, right? Yeah. Do you kill? Now, let's be honest, almost in every superhero thing you watch, you think, man, these big fights are happening. There's got to be innocents getting killed. But this is not even that. This is like, oh, Eclipso's inhabiting this body, and the only way to get rid of him is to kill that person. And they take a vote, and it's Starman who does the deciding vote, and completely to Stripesy's like shock that is like, yeah, we got to kill him. And then he goes and he's the one who kills Bruce is the guy's name, which is the body that Eclipso is inhabiting. Now, this is from the past, of course, for those of you who haven't really watched it yet, but don't mind spoilers. Like it's from the past. So it's kind of in a, do we do this again?
Because it broke up the JSA last time.
It did. He said, how did Stripesy put it? How did Pat put it? He was like, we never really talked about it, but we just never came back together. And then they came back together for one fight when the Injustice Society of America came back together, which is what we saw the whole series start off with. And they all like died during it, basically. So they were obviously all off their game. Things weren't going well with them. So it's something that, again, innocence dying can happen during a fight and it sucks. And I'm sure it weighs on people. But when you actually kill someone, which is kind of exactly what Yolanda is dealing with. Right?
That's what I was going to say. Yolanda. So I think, did they set this up with Yolanda dealing with this? And then in the DCU, the DCEU, there's always been this argument within the fandom about Batman killing and Superman killing, even Wonder Woman, do are heroes supposed to commit murder, and is it murder when they have to kill the villain to get rid of the villain? Because if you don't kill the villain, then what do you do? I mean, with Joker, you have to basically kill him, and even then you still don't get rid of him all the way. No. That does the superhero kill. The fact that they're bringing up in Stargirl, that's almost like, you're bringing it from the adults playground to the sandbox where the kids are playing.
I know.
So this is like a really huge topic. And but they're all like, I mean, she's all like, yeah, that's our decision though, Pat. You don't get to make it for us. And, you should have told me the story.
Oh, they've gotten a big fight because she found out her mom had known.
Huge fight, yeah.
And then don't they go pan out and like outside the window there's like little baby kid Eclipso just like laughing.
Because the whole family's fighting at this point, Yeah,
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, so I think I'm wondering what they're going to end up doing, and it's like, I don't know. Well, by the time this airs, we will know, but I think that, I don't know. The fact that this does do superheroes kill keeps popping up. I think we finally need to have this debate and get it over with, because it was even in the Netflix series.
Yeah, the Jupiter's Legacy.
Yeah, Jupiter's Legacy. I mean, that was what tore the family apart, is the dad was like, you can't kill. But the son, if the son wouldn't have murdered the villain, he would have took out the dad.
Yeah, right, exactly. So where do you cross that line, and when is it okay to cross that line, or is it ever okay to cross that line? I mean, look at Yolanda when she killed Brainwave. He was going to kill everybody. So she had to kill him, or she felt like she had to.
Well, Eclipso, there's no other way to get rid of Eclipso.
And Eclipso is wreaking havoc everywhere. Everyone is having these hallucinations. I mean, Mike was affected this episode, and Barbara was affected this episode until Shade came and helped her a little bit. And the fact that he can have this whole town, this whole city, whatever, Blue Valley, he can mess with everybody. The weather's getting worse. They have to get rid of him. And Pat is saying the only way, and Shade came to them in the past. This is what we saw in the past. Shade came to Starman, which is kind of like what you were talking about before, how they were sort of allies, and said, listen, I've dealt with him before. The only way you can get him into the Black Diamond and away, kill the body he's in, he goes into the Black Diamond, and then nobody touches the Black Diamond, lock it away. And which obviously Cindy found the Black Diamond and touched it, and that's how this whole thing started. So how are they gonna find another way? I mean, I feel like Shade's a pretty smart dude, and if he's been dealing with this for years and years, you would think he would have come up with another way if there was one.
Yeah, I think Shade would have found something if there was something. And the fact that Shade's not found anything, that's telling.
I know. So what do you think's going to happen? If you had to guess, do you think someone is going to kill the body that Eclipso's in now? If you had to guess.
I think somebody's going to have to murk Eclipso. It's going to have to happen. You can't.
Is it going to be Yolanda again? Is she going to step up?
That would be so cruel. Oh my God, that would be so cruel if they did make. They can't be Yolanda.
Well, because think about before she quit, she goes, "I'm the only one who will. I don't want any of you to have that guilt."
Mm-hmm.
If it comes to the point where she realizes it's the only way to get rid of him, I almost think Yolanda would do it. I think it would break her.
Mm-hmm.
But I almost think she would not allow one of her friends, even no matter how upset she is with them.
Yeah.
I don't think she'd allow him to do it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not okay. So you can't murder is not like murder guilt is not like something like I've done it before. So if I do it again, it's going to be easier. No,
right?
It doesn't get easier as you do it.
I know,
and you can't just stack it, onto somebody and okay, you save everybody else. No, because it'll break you. We can't do that. So I'm hoping that they figure out some kind of creative way to get this done, because otherwise there's oh my gosh. Otherwise there's no way.
Her. Mm-hmm. She would be never the same. She's already never the same.
Yeah, she's already I don't think she can handle it now.
I know.
She can't handle it right now.
I know.
So,
and I guess by the time you guys are watching this, we will know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see what happens, but maybe we won't know. It's episode 10 out of, I think, 13 or 12. So they might kind of do something that it doesn't. Are you checking? I think that's what I think in my head. I feel like it's episode 10. Maybe it's 11. I don't know. I get confused because Titans is like almost the same number.
Mm-hmm.
It's throwing me off. And Titans is coming up on episode 11. So it's got to be episode.
Yeah, tonight is episode 10.
There we go.
Not tonight. So the one that just happened is episode 10. Last week is episode 10. And then the next one is on the 19th. So it's at it's 11. 11, yeah.
So okay. So we might not know. They might not fully. Maybe they're trying to find another way. I don't know. Because I do imagine that their ultimate fight with Eclipso is going to be the finale, right? It
has to be.
So they've got a couple episodes to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see what road they go down. But yeah, it's a crazy one.
Yeah. It has to be. I mean, it has to be the fight. The finale has to be the last.
I would imagine so. I can't imagine that they do it another time. That would just be weird. Unless there's something major that happens when they get rid of Eclipso, maybe they end up in the shadow realm there, right? We've got Dr. Midnight that whole thing going on. So I don't know. It's crazy. Crazy. I'm interested to see. I'm interested.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right,
I don't think we're gonna know by the next episode.
Yeah, so. I don't think so either.
Yeah, so we can keep speculating, but it will add to we'll keep our speculations going.
Yeah, as it goes on, for sure.
Yeah,
I know. I'm sitting here already, my brain's spinning, and I'm like, okay, we've got 10 minutes left. We've got to talk about DC FanDome. Mm-hmm. So DC FanDome's this weekend. Mm-hmm. I'm excited.
I am too.
I'm so excited. So for those of you, a shameless plug here, I'll be reacting to everything that drops over at Mama's Geeky YouTube channel. So stick around for that. But what's weird to me, last DC FanDome, we got the Batman trailer, and it was supposed to have been out by now. And it was like very exciting to see the trailer. It looked amazing. And
it's not here.
It hasn't come out yet. But we're promised the new trailer is going to come on Saturday. And
Are they finally done with it?
I'm very excited. Yeah. I was not at first. Not cautiously optimistic is the word. I thought I thought the casting choice was a little interesting, right? I'm like Edward Cullen as no offense, sorry that I just put him in that Twilight.
He will forever be Edward Cullen. I'm sorry. He will.
So I was like, that's weird. But then I am telling you, when we saw that first trailer, I was like, oh no, he could be Bruce Wayne. Okay.
Well, and then I saw him in Tenet. And I'm like, oh yeah, you could be Bruce Wayne. You could.
Exactly. So I'm excited. Are you excited for the Batman trailer?
I am. Are they done shooting it? I mean, I thought there was reshoots or something.
Reshoots are done. Supposedly this is locked and loaded.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't know.
I
I'm just like give it up already. Give up the goods already. Let's watch it. Let's have it. You know, okay, pencils down. Test is over.
Class,
turn it
down.
in. Turn in your copies.
I'm looking up the release date now.
We're done.
March 4th.
March, really? Come on, DC. There can't be that much work you have to do on this thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I wish. The only thing is, I'm excited to see the trailer. I hope they give us something substantial, like a featurette or something. Like this better not be a teaser. It better not be a teaser. You need to give us some meat.
The last one was 2 minutes and 24 seconds. I'm looking at it right now. So this one, I imagine, is going to be similar length, if not longer. I would think.
It needs to give a hint to the story. If it doesn't give a hint to the story, I think it's going to tick people off because they're like, okay, we've waited this long. You need to give us more. So yeah.
Hopefully we get that. We're also supposed to be getting a first look or something for The Flash, which I'm cautiously optimistic about as well.
I'm going to adopt that.
I know. I love it. It's a good way to put it, right? Like I'm like,
it is.
I'm excited, but I'm not like I'm nervous. I need to see something from you, right?
Yeah,
more than just like leaked images, and I need like a solid trailer, substance.
Yeah, I'm not even paid attention to the leaked images. I
try not to, but people email them to me. What do you think of this? I'm like, I don't want to see this because I want to see it in a final thing, right? Like we talk about casting choices, right? And I'm like, I hate to make an assumption before I see this person in action because it's their job to create this stuff, right?
It is. Yeah. They're content creators as well. And as a fellow content creator, you don't want to judge something because once you make that decision and once you say those words, you're like putting it out there and people are going to run with it. Well, Tessa over at Mama's Geeky said this and you know, it's going to go like how, you know, so it's like, okay, I don't want to see the suit without all the lighting and everything that's on it.
Exactly.
I don't want to see.
You know how much they change from what you see on set is not what you see in the movie. Okay?
Not even close.
Not even close.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to get stuff from Black Adam as well, which I'm actually really excited for that. I know a lot of people aren't, but I really am. But Are you?
Yes. Okay. So I gotta tell you,
okay.
My first set visit ever was Shazam. And they had their little sizzle reel of what they wanted the franchise to look like. And they had Black Adam in there.
Oh!
So they kind of like teased out some Black Adam stuff. And I thought that Black Adam was going to be a part of the Shazam they were giving us.
Yeah.
And they decided that no, he was going to be too big. So they were like breaking him off for his own thing. They thought it was going to be too much to have him and Shazam in the same thing. So they're breaking him off. But I mean, I think that it was like really, really, really. I've been excited since then, that moment before Shazam came off, and you know, and I know there's a lot of people in DC who are just still lukewarm on Shazam. I like it. I think I like
it a lot too. I thought it was fun.
Yes, it's fun. It's family friendly. It's a good story. Come on, people.
Listen, I enjoyed it a lot. So we're also going to see stuff for Shazam too. HCA FanDome.
I am excited for that. Excited for that. I wonder if the tiger's going to be there now. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, they kind of tease the tiger in the background and little Easter eggs.
Right, but
yeah. So, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm excited for all the DC stuff.
Me too. We're going to get video game stuff, which if you know me, you know I'm excited about for Gotham Knights and the Suicide Squad game, Kill the Justice League, which like how is that like how do you not want to play the Suicide Squad killing the Justice League in a video game?
Yeah. I'm not that much of a gamer, and that's what I'm for. Sorry about
You're
the background
like, I don't
noise.
even game, and I'm ready to kill.
Not much. I mean,
League.
I'm not much of a gamer. I'm not that into it as much because of the kids. You hear in the background, but I don't get time. But I will make time for that one. I will try. I will do. I don't know. Maybe I won't sleep. Or something, but I will make time for that one. So I can't wait for it.
And we'll get Peacemaker stuff, which I'm excited about.
Yes.
Obviously Titans and Doom Patrol stuff. I'll look at animated Harley Quinn, which I'm sure they're going to announce the next season information. Aquaman, King of Atlantis, all that fun stuff. But what I'm super excited about and what we're going to be talking about, should there be anything major that occurs, which there should be because it is on this list that I'm looking at from DC. So I feel like it's going to be major, is stuff from DC Publishing. So comic book stuff. Because I know Pop Council, listen, you guys, next Monday, get ready to talk all things DC FanDome with Pop Council. I know they're going to cover it in great depth. They're going to be amazing. We love Jamie and Wendy here over at the Longbox. Adore them. And I know they're going to do a great job. But we are the ones who are going to be talking about the comic book stuff. So join us next Wednesday to talk about that. Should there be anything major again? But it says they're going to talk about DC Black Label stuff, which is always fun. Wonder Woman Historia, super excited about that. And also Nubia and the Amazons, which is going to be exciting. And then there's an original graphic novel, The Wonderful Women of the World. I mean, some awesome stuff. There's going to be a new issue Black Manta series. So all the stuff that they talk about, Batman Fear State, that's what I'm excited about.
Yes. The NFTs. Oh my God. Okay. So I know I've been like a broken record about these because nobody's really talking about them. You guys don't understand how cool these are. So I want to talk about these. Hopefully they cover them in a little bit of depth. They're covers.
A little bit. I would imagine.
Yeah. They're covers, digital covers that you own a piece of. You can only get them through FanDome but sign up for FanDome and, they send it to you, send you a little invitation to go get one. And if you tweet it out, you get another. So you get two. Yeah. 2 free ones. Okay. Yeah. And I got a pretty cool one. One is a Green Lantern cover. And another is a Superman cover that's pretty cool.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, you have to, I'll show them for next time, but
yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll talk more about that and about all the everything. And yeah, I can't wait for the Black Label stuff. Black Label's my jam. I love the Black Label titles coming out.
I always find time, like we talked about, it's so hard to find time with life and kids and all sorts of stuff, but I always try to find time for Black Label stuff because they're always the best reads. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, they are.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. But yeah, so next week, real quick, I'll tell you guys we're gonna talk about that. Of course, we'll have the Batwoman interview, which I'm excited. Next week on Monday, am going to the Eternals red carpet premiere. So I'm going to record a little segment after that and give you my first thoughts. Review embargo will not have broken, so I can just basically tell you what I would tweet out. I get, let's say, I'll push it 200 characters to tell you guys, but I will do something for that. That'll be fun. I'll get to tell you what I thought about that. And Jonita's going to give us a Why the Last Man breakdown comparisons. I have yet to watch the show.
I know.
I want to go. There's something my husband wants to watch with me, which is why. Yeah. It's always harder to get to it, but I want to check it out. So I'm excited to hear what you have to say about it.
Yes. And I've been sort of waiting because I didn't know where the show was going to go.
Right.
So I've been waiting for some episodes to kind of stack up so I can be like, okay. So this is what's happening, people. Just so we can do that real deep comparison of this one. And there's so many themes in it and it's so dense. I think that, I need to sit down with it and wrestle with it and talk to you guys about it. And we'll have that segment.
I'm excited. Yeah, next week will be, again, Wednesdays, 11 a.m. Eastern time. And we'll have that, all those segments together for you, which we hope you guys enjoy next week. And then the week after that, maybe we'll be back live. Who knows? We'll see. We are hoping to, fingers crossed, get some really amazing Titans interviews for you guys as well. And they may pop up as a segment on a show. They may pop up as kind of their own thing, depending on when we get to talk to them in comparison to when the finale airs. So we'll see. So stay tuned for that stuff. But we are not the only show here on the Hollywood Critics Association channel. I was going to say Longbox, and I'm like, that's our name. It's not the Longbox. It's the YouTube channel. You're muted.
Oh, so tomorrow you can catch Hollywood Approved, where they're going to be talking about, they're going to have their fan casting segment for Casper, and they're going to be talking about, One of Us is Lying, Scaredy Cats, RuPaul's Drag Race. They've got a guest, Eureka O'Hara. Oh, that's a good guest. Okay, so yeah, and so much more. They've got a lot of stuff tomorrow. So, go ahead and watch Hollywood Approved. I'm
excited for that to see what they have to say about, because I watched the screeners of One of Us is Lying, and I'm like, and I read the book, so I'm into that right now. Wow. So I'm excited to see what they have to say about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to catch it. I've got screeners for it sitting in the box. So yeah, so.
All right, guys. Well, I'm Tessa Smith. You guys can find me at mamasgeeky.com, everywhere on social media, Mamas Geeky, here on YouTube, Mamas Geeky. And like I said, be sure to join me on Saturday as I react to every single thing DC FanDome drops. I'm definitely reacting to trailers and first looks. It's going to be a busy day. I'm very excited for it. And of course, follow me to LA for the Eternals red carpet premiere. Definitely excited to share my thoughts on that movie.
Yeah, can't wait. I'm Jonita Davis. You can find me everywhere, Jonita L. Davis. My work at theblackcape.com, Black Cape Media on YouTube, and my work at Mama's Geeky as well. So yeah, I can't wait to get that interview for you guys to see the Batwoman interview because I just totally fangirled over Robin Givens.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, and then I told her I just came from Dune, so she wanted to hear about that before. And then
you're like, we're on the clock. I can't tell you.
Well, no, it was like the publicist was like, well, you know, we're gonna need you to, yeah. So she's like, no, you said Dune? What was that like? So yeah, I mean, I'm like, oh my God, Robin Givens is a geek. Let's so anyway, but I can't wait for you to see that and you know, Why the Last Man and everything else. I mean, we've got so much goodness coming up. So
yes,
yeah,
for sure.
Thanks
for joining us today, guys, and don't forget, tell us all your thoughts on everything we talked about today.
Yes,
and don't forget to read up on Agatha Harkness and of course